Welcome to Holistic Human Performance Podcast. My name is Gena Bradshaw, where we talk all things holistic health, wellness, spirituality, fitness, meditation, energetics, and so much more to help you become the healthiest version of yourself. Let's dive in. This is not medical advice. This is simply to help you on your journey through health, fitness, and wellness. I hope this helps. You can complement this with anything that you are doing currently in your life. Enjoy. Ever find it super difficult to integrate these holistic tools and modalities, and you really just don't know where to start? Well, I got you covered. It's been a long time coming, and it's finally gotten to this place where I can really be wherever and whenever you need me to be. And that's why I created the Holistic Human Performance Virtual Wellness Center. The cool part about this wellness center is you can take me wherever, whenever you need, filled with meditations, nutrition coaching, exercises, workouts, online courses, all of these things you get in this virtual wellness center. Because let's be real, sometimes it's challenging to be able to integrate these tools and know what to do with them. And not only that, if you are a one-on-one coaching client with me, you have automatic access to this entire virtual wellness center so that you have the tools to do it on your own. And guess what? You're getting a 5-day free trial. So you can find that at www.holistichumanperformance.co/academy. Go get your 5-day free trial. Try it out. Let us know what you think. Enjoy. Everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Holistic Human Performance Podcast. I'm your host, Gena Bradshaw Vitale, and we have a very special guest with us today. I'm going to do the best to pronounce her name correctly. Paula Werff. I hope I did my best there. I'm really excited to get into it with her today, all about psychology, mental health, bringing that interwoven piece with spiritual health and how she spreads her knowledge, spreads her wisdom, helps other people. And she is very accomplished. She's done many cool things. Not only is she a pioneering psychologist, she is a specific PSYCH-K facilitator. And with this, she also has a Master of Arts in Social Psychology from Harvard University, a Master of Science in Clinical Psychology from Leiden University. And she just has been catalyzing her own way throughout this industry for quite some time. So I'm really excited to dive on in with you today. Paula, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Gena. I'm happy to be here.
Yes. So let's start here. What got you interested in psychology and like the mental health aspect in the first place?
Well, I am from my father was a psychologist and a therapist. So I, of course, did not want to be one.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to be something else, but I was drawn to social psychology because I always felt that we used to blame the people for what's wrong with them. Well, actually, it was the social systems that were not in order and that were trampling on the people. So I wanted to learn about the social systems and how to change those. And I always loved that. And that was very interesting. And I've worked in the educational system in the Netherlands. I've worked in the police system in the Netherlands. And unfortunately, I found out that it's very difficult to change social systems.
Yeah.
Because there are so many powers at play that have different interests that it's not an easy thing to do. And then I discovered for myself that what is important is the way that you relate to a social system. So now I was back to where I didn't want to be, and it's to look inward. And why am I fighting social systems? Why am I not being at peace with social system? Why am I not creating my own social systems? So that was a whole different way of thinking. And then I turned around and went back to have a clinical psychology to see what do they know about how we tick as people and how we can change our inner world, which is a much more effective way. And then I was pretty disappointed
Yeah.
because there were not so many real clear ways of doing that, right? It was difficult, it was hard, a lot of crying. Most of the time, you did not succeed. So I was very disappointed with what a regular mental health field had to offer.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I started my own search for a method that works.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-mm. And then you
yeah.
stumbled upon, well, you went to school, but you stumbled upon Psych-K. What is this methodology? Can you kind of like break this down and like your own philosophy of how you approach this?
All right. So Psych-K is a method to transform limiting beliefs on the subconscious level into supportive, self-enhancing beliefs. And this is crucial that it is on the subconscious level. Because what I had learned as a psychologist was to talk to people on the conscious level. And you
Mm,
need to bring them to insight. And
mm,
once people have insight of what ails them, then maybe they can learn coping behaviors and then avoid their pitfalls. But that was sort of the best we could hope for. And now there was this process, this method that I experienced myself, and that truly gave change on the subconscious level. And what is so amazing about that is that if you are afraid of dogs, right? I mean, a simple fear, you're afraid of dogs. So now dog is barking and you have this fear reaction. Well, before that, I would talk to people about their fear reaction and that there's no reason to have fear, so they can, with their neocortex, start regulating their primitive brain, right, and calming it down. Um, but with Psych-K, you do a simple stress transformation. It's 5 minutes. Um, and a dog barks and nothing happens within you anymore. And that is the difference with a change on the subconscious level. The triggers are still out there in the world, but
mm,
there's no hook inside of you anymore that makes you react to it. And
mm,
this for me was totally mind blowing. There was nothing in my studies that prepared me for the results that I had afterwards with Psych-K. And I didn't, of course, didn't believe it. I mean, when they told me about it, I didn't believe it. I said, no, this is not possible. And Bruce Lipton, I
love
don't know
Bruce Lipton. Love his
who
work.
who doesn't, and he promotes Psych-K actually. And
Mm,
that's the reason why I went to a Psych-K workshop, because the things they promised I didn't believe, but I thought, well, if Bruce Lipton says it works, maybe it's worthwhile going to have a look, right? And it was. So I'm so grateful for Bruce Lipton and his endorsement, because I was at my first day at a 3-day basic workshop to learn Psych-K for myself and the transformative tools to use it for myself and with other people. And then I understood that we psychologists have not understood how mind change works. It is actually a very easy process. It's a vibration, and you can change the vibration if you put the focus on it, and it's not difficult. But I had learned as a psychologist that it is very hard, that it's very difficult. So I had all these limiting beliefs about mind change that were
mm,
blown away during my first day of the Psyche Basic Workshop. Yeah, it is. It was really, there really was for me a before Psyche and an after Psyche, and also for my clients. Because
mm,
after Psyche, we started to have real results and also easy, in an easy way. I always used to feel very responsible for my clients' results. And
okay.
if they were not having results, I was doing it wrong.
Mm,
With Psyche, I know that I can never take credit for the results of my clients. The only thing I can do is facilitate to the best of my power. the change has to come from within. They are the ones who are doing the change. And they are also the ones who are deciding what they want to change, right? Not me. They decide. So now all over a sudden, from me being in the driver's seat, my clients were in the driver's seat. They were getting wonderful results. And it was so much better for me as well as a psychologist.
Okay, let's back it up. So
All right.
let's talk about the difference between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. So we all have a context of kind of why it's so important to work with the subconscious mind.
Right. Okay, so in Psych-K, we actually use three aspects of consciousness. We
Okay.
talk about the higher consciousness, the conscious mind, and the subconscious mind. And in your subconscious mind is basically all your conditioning, all your
Mm,
programming, all your automated behaviors, everything that you have inherited from the people around you, right? It also does all the bodily processes. So I compare the subconscious mind often to an elephant
mm,
because it's big and it's powerful. And once it has learned something, it has learned something. So the moment it's programmed, it's set in stone till you change it. But
mm,
if you do not change it, it will continue its programming as it has always done. And then you have the conscious mind. And actually, the conscious mind is where your free will is. And you should set your goals with your conscious mind. I mean, of course, often people set their goals through their conditioning. I mean, the people in my past did this, my surrounding thinks this is important, so now I do too. This is not truly using your conscious mind. With your
mm,
conscious mind, you decide what is it that I want to do? What goals do I want to achieve? And the conscious mind is actually only about 5% of the time it's in focus and is doing the controlling. Most of the time we are acting from our subconscious mind. So what is so very important is that we with our conscious mind are able to direct our subconscious mind. So it's going
mm.
to help us. Because just imagine when you have the conscious mind, I compare it to a hummingbird, where you have a conscious mind, a hummingbird, and an elephant, and they're not in agreement, then who is going to win? I
Right.
mean, it will cost you all your energy to keep your elephant on the right track. And most, you're probably not going to succeed. I sometimes have clients and there is so much conflict in their subconscious mind that it's amazing that they're functioning at all,
I know.
right?
Sometimes I notice that and I'm like, how do you get through a day?
Exactly. Exactly. And then it's actually very courageous that they
Yeah.
are getting through a day at all,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. And with Psych-K, it becomes easy to reprogram this subconscious mind. It's not hard. It's not a struggle. And it's so gratifying and wonderful to be able to facilitate this process. And then what's also very special about Psyche is this superconscious. I
Mm,
mean, we acknowledge that we are also spiritual beings living a human experience, and that part of us, or however you want to look at it, right, according to your own belief system, is still out there and is helping us and guiding us here in on this earth plane. And during a Psyche balance, we call the exercises we do, we call them Psyche balances. This higher consciousness, that what's greater than us, becomes very palpable.
mm,
And I think that for me was the greatest gift that Psyche gave me, this sense of there is more in life. I'm not here alone. I am not an aberration of my brain. No, there is purpose to it all. And I have purpose. Uh, and there is something that I don't know whether I say it correctly, but in Dutch translation, it would be something like that carries you, right?
yes.
Yes. And that is such a wonderful feeling.
Mm. Now, What are some ways? Well, first you have to be aware. I guess like that would be the first thing. A person needs to be aware of like, I don't want to be living like this anymore. So what are some tools people can start to do like today that they can start to get their mind back on track and know and lead them and guide them down the path that they're truly meant to go on?
Mm. Yeah, so with the PSYCH-K tools, you really need a PSYCH-K facilitator to guide you through the process. Or you need to take a 3-day basic workshop to learn to use the tools by yourself.
Mm,
So no quick fixes here, unfortunately,
got
during
it.
the podcast. But what is very important, and of course you can always do, is to have a look at what does my life look like? Because the idea is that anything you don't like in your life is a reflection of your inner world, right?
Mm,
So then you have to look at, okay, how did I, without feeling guilty about it, how did I create this in my life? And
mm,
if I do not want this, what do I want instead? Right? And then you need for the from the going from this to what do I want instead, you need the balance process.
mm-hmm,
And once you have done your balances to what you want instead, then in PSYCH-K, we're going to look at the action steps. So, okay, how now are you going to make changes in your actions so you will get different results? Um, because what a balance does for you, it gives you more energy potential. It gives you the possibility of doing things differently, but you still have to do them, right?
mm,
But now it becomes easy to do them. Before, because of the beliefs you were having, you were not doing the actions. And once you have cleared that, it becomes easy to do your action steps stronger. It becomes fun to do your action steps because action steps are always something you want to do. There's not more duty or have to. I mean, these are all beliefs that make us not enjoy life. And why did we come here? We did not come here to suffer. I don't believe that.
I agree with you. We did not come here to suffer. We came here to thrive. It is our birthright to
Exactly.
thrive.
Exactly.
And some people don't even get to experience that in a lifetime, which is so sad. But again, it's why we are doing what we do and we're on the path that we're on. So, my next question would be spirituality. What does spirituality mean to you, and how do you incorporate that into your practice?
So for me, it all starts with spirituality,
Mm,
right? So as a PSYCH-K facilitator and as a PSYCH-K instructor, I believe that we came from somewhere, the spiritual realm. Then
mm,
we go into the physical 3D realm. We have an experience here. And then we die and we transition back to the spiritual realm.
mm,
And I do believe, and this is my personal belief, that we have a life purpose. And it's for all of us to find our own life purpose. And I think there's signs that tell us whether we are on the right track or not. Does it make you happy? Does it make you feel good? Does it make other people feel good? I mean, these are all signs that you are on the right track. Is it easy to get into flow when you're doing what you're doing? Uh, these are important signs. Okay, these apparently are part of my life purpose. Um, so this is for me spirituality. Am I living my life purpose or am I not living my life purpose? And am I also planning to have a whole lot of fun while living my life purpose? Definitely. There's no
yes.
suffering. Yes. Yes. And I also do not believe that you have to be poor as a spiritual person. No. I mean, if people who pollute the world can earn a lot of money, how can I not earn a lot of money while spreading love, right?
Right. I love that. Absolutely. I think the same thing. It's energetic exchange. Like you're putting good work out there. Of course, you're going to be rewarded with abundance and prosperity and fun and adventure and living a good life. Purpose is what I'm really discovering on my own journey, health and purpose are directly correlated. You cannot have one without the other. If you are unfulfilled, how on earth are you going to feel good waking up every single day? Like that's so much energy to not live your authenticity and so much energy wasted not living up to who you're meant to be. And that's all part of soul lesson and things like that. But I really try to explain to people like you don't need to suffer anymore. Like we don't need to be there.
But just explaining is not enough because that's
Right.
on the conscious level.
Right.
And on the conscious level, they will agree with you. But on the subconscious level, they may have beliefs like, it's a valley of tears, this earth, right? And we're not supposed to be happy here. In the next life, we will be rewarded. But in this life, we will be doing suffering or whatever the beliefs are that people are
Mm,
having. And as long as you don't change them, they will keep on having them.
mm,
And it is exactly as you said, the connection between health and happiness is enormous. I mean, when you read Bruce Lipton's book, The Biology of Belief, he very clearly makes the connection about what happens within a cell when you're happy and what happens within a cell when you're unhappy, right? There is a whole different neurotransmitters and every stuff like that are start flowing. And we are in direct control of our happiness buttons through our thoughts and our emotions, right?
mm.
Exercise is important, diet is important, but controlling your thoughts and emotions is maybe even more important because that makes us feel good and then we can keep our diet and then we are going to do our exercise, right? So I believe it all starts with thoughts and emotions. And they
Yeah.
do not happen to us, we can take control of them. We can become the master of our mind.
Yeah,
And it's
becoming go ahead, finish.
no. And I just wanted to add, and it's easy and fun.
Yes. And I think people but again, this like, I know you're in the Netherlands, but you've experienced America and, the programming that happens of like, you need to go to school, get a 9 to 5 job, you need to do this, you can't live until you hit retirement. Like, all of that old way of living is kind of crumbling. And
Mm.
people are in a way of like, well, what do I do now? And we're in this like massive spiritual awakening that I personally am seeing firsthand and also experiencing myself and noticing the collective energy. We are, it starts with us and we are ripple effects out into the world. And when you said this in the beginning, your inner world, that is so important. I cannot even, like you said, you could explain it, but then on that subconscious level, there's that limiting belief, that origin story that holds you back, that gives you that resistance or whatever it is, whatever story it is. But truly, like when you experience another way of living, you'll wake up and be like, I am never going back to who I used to be.
Right? And you also cannot go back to that. I mean, once you see it, you see it. I mean,
That's it. I know it.
yeah.
Do you have any of your own kind of practices that you do daily to keep your energy high, to keep your mind right? Anything in particular that you absolutely just love to do on a daily basis to keep you healthy, strong, resilient, and cleansing your energy and protecting yourself?
Mm. Well, I do some psyche exercises that you can do every day.
Mm,
After that, we have a few workshops, so it all starts with the basic workshop. But if you have done the basic, you can go to the advanced, and you can go to a health and well-being, and there you have a rejuvenation program. So there are some exercises that I do around this rejuvenation program, and we also have a self-realization program. So I also work every day on my self-realization because I feel this is what we're here for, right? We are
mm,
here to enjoy, to do our purpose, and to realize that we are more than just a human being. Uh, and it's not a difficult thing. It's not a hard, again, there's no hard work involved. It's fun.
It's fun. It gets to be easy.
Yes. Yes. And I find that easy is divine and
Mm.
complex is human. So if things are complex, I think, oh, human beings has been at work, right? And if it's easy and fun, then I think, oh, this might be worthwhile.
Yes. What are your thoughts? I'm just genuinely curious on like the ancestral aspect of, healing. Um, like your lineage, ancestral cycles. Because I know I've been seeing it a lot, and we come into Earth to also be, sometimes it's our purpose to also be cycle breakers within our lineage. What are your thoughts on that? Your philosophy? I'm genuinely curious.
Mm. I have done before. I got to PSYCH-K. I did a lot of systemic constellation work,
Mm,
and I used to love that. And then, of course, you look at the generation about the female line and the male line, and you see where the blockages are and how you can get the energy flowing again. And I love that work, and it's very insightful. But in PSYCH-K, it doesn't really matter. If I
mm,
have a certain problem at the moment, for example, of being seen, or speaking in public or anything like that, it is not, or speaking my truth or something like that. It doesn't really matter whether I was burned in the 16th century as a witch, and that's why I now have this problem. What's important is that I now can identify that I have these problems and what are the balances I want to do to overcome them. So you do it sort of in the here and now,
mm,
because it's present in the here and now as well. And of course, I agree that things come through the generations. And now we have the next generation having the same problems, right?
right.
Because where do our beliefs come from? I mean, they come from our parents, they come from the important systems around us. And their beliefs came from their parents, and their beliefs came from their parents. So this comes through the. But I find it very liberating that as a psychologist, and I used to do this, but I don't do it anymore, that I don't have to go into how did this happen, right? And
Mm,
then you're 2 or 3 sessions further before you start transforming anything. And a lot of crying, right? And everything you give attention grows. So now there is way too much attention on the limiting stuff and not enough attention on the solution. And we can feel it in ourselves, right? We can feel that if we are busy with the solution, the vibration goes up higher.
mm-hmm,
And when we go into the problem, the vibration goes lower. And with a PSYCH-K balance, we are always focused on the solution because we need this higher vibration to transform.
mm,
And we also know that the moment you raise your vibration, you attract higher vibrations as well. And if you're in the vibration of the problems, you attract all these people with this shit, right? And how is it
mm,
possible that everybody has this? But that's not lifting you up. And a caveat in that is that we never deny a problem in PSYCH-K. If it's there, it's there. But
right.
we don't have to dwell on it extensively to be able to transform it. Right? You can feel the bathwater with your pinky to say it's hot without having to dig in the whole bathtub that is too hot. Right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I love that. I've never heard I was genuinely curious because I know you merge the two together. That's really fascinating. I love that. And a great way to explain that. You want to get in and get out.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, as we wrap up, are there any words of wisdom that you would like to leave the listeners?
Yes. Life can be easy and fun. And if it isn't easy and fun for you today, go and have a look if there's a PSYCH-K facilitator near you or a PSYCH-K workshop near you. Yeah, don't stay in it. There's no need.
Mm,
Really, no need.
love that. Thank you so much. So, Paula, where can people find you?
They can find me through my website, and that's www, and now it becomes difficult, and it's a dot, DEWERFF, like Ferdinand, dot net slash en. Because
Got
then
it.
you're on the English part of our website and not on the Dutch part of our website. Yeah, and we can also work through Zoom with people. That's absolutely possible with PSYCH-K. So people can really are welcome to come and experience it. And I think
Perfect.
so many people need it. Yes.
Yeah, it sounds so interesting. Thank you so much for coming on. And guys, I'll put this in the show notes for you so you can find Paula and all the amazing just ways that she can help you. So thank you so much, Paula, for coming on the podcast today.
And thank you very much for having me, Jenna.
Absolutely. Such a great conversation. If you guys like this episode, like, share, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.